Hi, welcome to week 2. This video is going to focus on Learn Like a Pro, which is one of the books that we're reading this semester. So this week you're reading chapter 1 and 2. If you haven't gotten the book, I will give you the first couple of chapters so that you can read them, but you need to get the book this week. This is the only week I'm going to give you chapters. Okay, so chapter 1 is all about the Pomodoro technique, and I love the Pomodoro technique. I think it's fantastic. It helps me be so effective when I'm working on something. I have an app that's called the Tomato Timer, and so you click on it and it starts your timer and you get to set it for what you're working on, and how long you want each section to be and how long you want your rest time to be, and I love it. It just helps me stay on track, like what she's talking about. You're not don't procrastinate as much, and I just have a tendency to move kind of slowly through projects if I don't have my tomato timer going. But if my timer's going, then I'm like not getting distracted, not piddling, I'm just going. All right. And so I love that she starts with that. And again, I have the Tomato Timer app and I love it. But if you find another Pomodoro app that you like, let me know, because I'm always curious if there's a better one out there. So she talks about what that is, and basically you just have a focus time of 25 minutes and then you take a rest for 5 minutes. And she recommends that you don't spend that rest time on your cell phone, which is very tempting. And first you need to set up a distraction-free environment. So what that looks like. So she talks about getting rid of your cell phone or turning it to do not disturb, but really your brain's always thinking about it if it's close to you and if it's on. So putting it in a place where you can't see it. And then just closing out all of your windows that are distracting, all of your tabs, and then just sitting down to work on the job that you've done. And as you get distracted, you just bring yourself back to task for those 25 minutes. And then for the after you finish that 25 minutes, then you get a 5-minute break. And if you do several of those, 4 in a row, of those 25 and 5, then your last break should be longer, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But that's what the Pomodoro technique is and what it does. And again, I love it. So then she also talks about the focus and diffuse modes in chapter 2. And this is in chapter 1, we talked about Pomodoro, and that is his focus time, right? So you're focusing on your task. You're not really letting yourself be distracted. And then you also need, though, to work some in diffuse mode, which is when your brain's working on in the background. And if you think about, if you've ever taken a shower and you come up with an idea, or you've gone for a walk and you realize the solution to the problem you've been thinking about, or you're cooking dinner, or you're cleaning up after dinner, or whatever, right? But those times where you're doing something else or thinking about something else and the answer comes to you, because your brain's working on that in the background. So she talks about how we can leverage the diffuse mode of our brain to work best for us. And she's got some examples about that and how to work on that. But what I want to challenge you to do this week is to work out for 3 30-minute sessions. And that can look however you want it to look. You can do a yoga class online. I've got this girl, what's her name, Cole Chance, maybe, that I like on YouTube. For yoga, you can do a HIIT class. You can do weights. You can do whatever. You can go to the gym. You can go for a walk. Whatever you want to do there for 30 minutes, you're going to work out. Do some exercise. Move your body. Let your brain get into diffuse mode. Okay? So, and we're not doing that just because it gets your brain in diffuse mode, although it does. But I also am introducing you to Dr. John Rady, and I love his research. I think it is pretty just compelling. But basically he talks about how exercise is better for your brain than studying. So your brain develops these like super neurons when you're exercising that can be used anywhere in your brain. Exercise makes your brain work better. You remember more, you think more clearly, you have better regulation of yourself. And he'll tell you more about that in the video. But I think it is just one of the best things that we can do for ourselves as students and beyond, truly. But I want you to get into a space of thinking about exercise being good for your brain, not just good for your body. And I knew that before I read Dr. Rady's book, because I have family members that have dementia, and I was like, well, one thing that you can do to prevent dementia is exercise. So I knew that in 40 years it was going to be good for my brain. But what I didn't know is that it makes my brain work better now. So it's good for my body, but it's even more so good for my brain working out. So that's part of your homework this week. Again, you can do however you want to do that. And then you'll just send me a picture of you on your, of the class that you're taking, or your gym, or whatever, to get credit for that. Okay? So that is chapter 1 and 2 of Learn Like a Pro, and a little bit about exercise, which we're adding in this week. And let me know if you have any questions.